Pleasure being here, and in fact it's a pleasure seeing Professor Prasad, who was my senior in college more than 30 years ago now. So I mean, we haven't met for 30 years, but at least an opportunity to see each other on screen after so long. So thanks for calling me. The way I titled this was India at 75, which you have heard a lot about. I mean, even the Prime Minister and various others talking about 1947 plus 75, 2022, right? So 75 years we have completed. But people have not actually talked much about the fact that it's also our first general elections, and the first parliament started in 1952. So parliament has also completed 70 years this June. So two landmark this year. And the reason I am actually connecting these two is something that we don't really, most of us, I mean, I don't think there is anyone here who was born prior to 1950. So most of us don't really appreciate what our country has achieved. I mean, there is a lot of, criticism, which is fair. We should be looking at what's going wrong so that we can improve. But there's also a lot of things that we have actually managed in the last 75 years and the last 70 years of parliament. And some of these are connected. In fact, these two are connected. The fact that we have been a republic for 72 years and a parliamentary democracy for 70 years. So if you actually look at when India became 1947 and well before that, I did not put the slides because that would have taken more time. But if you actually take up, let's say, the book by Ram Guha, India After Gandhi, which I think many people have read, the first chapter of that starts with the original background and what people are talking about India. And he has pulled out a lot of quotations, including from the late 19th century. There is a person called Strachey who used to teach in Cambridge. He used to essentially do the IAS coaching equivalent. So people coming for the Indian civil services from Cambridge, he used to teach them on how to expect India. And one of the things he says in that is that India is and never was a country. That's the first thing you need to understand, because there are people from Punjab, there are people from Bengal, there are people from Madras, and they are not the same people, they are not the same nation. And you go on, Mark Twain says similar things. And of course, there is a famous saying by Churchill, which says that, India is as much a country as equator is a country, because it's just a geographical space according to them. The European notion of a nation state, and if you look at any country in Europe, it's essentially one language, one ethnicity, one religion, right? Britain had a civil war in the 17th century, essentially, between two strands of Christianity, the Catholics and Protestants. And then finally they became a Church of England. It's one religion. Everyone is essentially one ethnicity and one country. And here we are, multiple ethnicities, multiple languages, multiple religions. You take multiple races, you take whatever. And of course, we have our unique invention, multiple castes, okay, which others don't have. And still, so everyone said India can't stay together as a nation. Too many fault lines, India will break up. That was the general consensus among all political scientists in the early 1950s. Well, here we are, we have proven them wrong.